Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've been live on my own. Obviously, I got absolutely wiped out by tonsillitis a few weeks ago. Missed the deadline stream, unfortunately for me. Missed going on holiday as well for the second channel as well, which is a little bit disappointing. But we're back, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's all good. We're going to have a good game week 12. And of course, we are going to try and help you guys out as well. Obviously, we're back after the international break as well. It was long. It was very, very long. Obviously, if you don't play EFL Fantasy, it was even longer. So yeah, unfortunately, there's not one till March now. So we're cooking. We're all good. We're in a very, very good position. I'm quickly just going to turn off the heater in my room because it's got extremely hot all of a sudden. So I'm going to turn that off so I don't obviously bake throughout today's stream. But keep your questions in. I can already see we've got some channel members and moderators in the chat as well. Notion Vids and Jamie, hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing pretty decent on this Friday evening. So get your questions in. Like I said, I'm just going to quickly turn that heater off that you can see right there because it is a little bit too hot. Obviously in the UK right now, it's very cold. It is very cold. But, you know, things are going to change. So get your questions in. We'll be answering them. Of course, we'll be looking through my team. And, of course, we will be running through all the key data you need. So just give me a very, very quick second. 1 second. Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me share my team on screen as well. We'll start with that one as well. Let's read through some of the chats, see what's going off. Hey Tom, how's it going, mate? The international break felt like a month. It really, really did, mate. It was horrific. Genuinely horrific. Someone said, Wagwan, my brethren, been a minute. How's your health now? I'm back, mate. I'm good. Tonsillitis absolutely killed me off. Pretty much was just bedridden for like a week. Horrible. FPL Worm has said, I'm on a wild card. Cool, we'll put together some pick for you then, mate. No worries, no worries. Would you do Garnacho or Madison to Schmodix on a draft? Ooh. I think I'd be more tempted to do... I think I'd leave Garnacho, you know. I think I'd leave Garnacho. The way he likes to play Almiron is with a free forwards, and I feel like Garnacho could be one of those players that's super explosive under him. So I think I'd leave Garnacho. Thoughts on triple captain in Salah this week? Not for me personally. I think there's probably going to be better game weeks to go and do it. You're alive. Hi Tom. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I'm back. I am back. Obviously, this is the first solo stream we've done since I decided to just get tonsillitis and just absolutely cake it for a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm back. Deadline stream as well will be tomorrow as well. Would you start Semenyo or Diaz? I probably would go Luis Diaz on that one. What changes am I making? I think we might be rolling this week. If I was to make any changes, it actually would be Mikalenko out because the fixtures aren't too great coming up for Everton, and I would be looking at Colwell. But with Colwell being flagged, I'm not 100% convinced I'm going to do that move, so I think we might just be rolling, playing with a little bit of a weaker defence, but hopefully the attack, it's all looking pretty decent in that regard, can pull us out the bag a little bit. Andy's got the right idea. Make sure you're joining in on the chat as well. Get your questions in. Any that you do have in today's stream ahead of, obviously, the deadline tomorrow, get them in. We'll be doing team ratings as well tomorrow in the chat. Any news on Semenyo? Yes, my friend. We have plenty of news. Obviously, the injury updates and manager press conferences came out today. Some were tomorrow, some were yesterday as well. Obviously, if you don't know, Ezri Konsa, he is going to be out, but Matty Cash and Ross Barkley look back in contention. So if you are potentially maybe on a wild card, Villa have got some decent fixtures. Maybe Matty Cash could potentially be worth a gamble. Not for me personally. I think I would be going for confirmed 90-minute men for the upcoming game weeks. Anton Semenyo, a question we've had, has passed his fitness test and should be available for game week 12 as well. So that's not the worst issue in the world. Saka and Rice returned to training today with a partial session. So obviously we know what Arteta is capable of. We know the lies that this man shares every single week. So whether or not you want to believe him and go down that route, it's not looking good to say he's only just been involved in a partial session for me. Like, he's been at the club over the international break and has only just partaked in a partial session. Now, this could be Arteta spinning lies. We know he's very, very capable of that. But yeah, I think it's one of those, if I've got him, I'm keeping him. If I'm if I've not got him and I wanted to buy him this week, I wouldn't buy him. That would probably be my logic on that one. So if I've got him, keep him. If I'm looking to buy him this week, I'm probably not going to buy him. And then the final one from today, the big one, was Trent Alexander-Arnold has not trained with the team due to an injury, and he will be out for game week 12, as will Alisson as well. So maybe if you're odds on a wild card, potentially considering going for Alisson, he's another one that you probably should be looking to avoid as well. I can see the chat is absolutely popping off this evening. Love that, guys. Keep the questions coming in. We'll try and answer as many as we can. Jamie said Colwell is fine, was confirmed. Can you send me that quote, man? Send me that quote. Because I tried to look for some and I just couldn't find any anywhere. Cunha is a great pick. I hope I'm not priced out after Bournemouth. I mean, the fixtures are decent up to 18, and he is just the key creative hold, really, isn't he, within that side? FPL Diamond, like, subscribe, share, quality content. Wonderful stuff. Thank you very much, man, for the positive review. And he's got the right idea as well. If you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are hitting that like button. And, of course, getting your questions in. When is the next wild card? I need it badly. I've got 20 mil sitting on the bench. That could be a good thing, though. That genuinely could be a good thing because, obviously, we've got, you know, the Christmas period coming up. There's going to be lots of rotation, lots of injuries. So it might not be the worst thing. But, yeah, it will be game week 20. It'll be back. I wouldn't recommend any. Yeah. Andy's your go-to man if you do need anything. Was planning to sell Son to find a move, but given the Saka news or the lack thereof, should I sell him instead? I would if I own Saka, I'm keeping him realistically. If I owned him, I'd keep him because the fixtures are decent and he is going to become a popular player over the next few weeks. It's just Arteta, isn't it? Would you still do Haaland and Johnson to Isak and Palmer for a -4 with the Spurs injury update? I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? Like, if you're going to captain Palmer this week, then maybe yes. And obviously, I've gone through this in quite a few videos this week. I think, personally, there is the option to sell Erling Haaland this game week. Like, it genuinely is a really, really good option because you're probably not going to be captaining him again all the way until game week 19, whereas people like Palmer, Salah and Saka all have, you know, pretty decent options coming up. Heard it on a few vids and streams at work, so can't really check Twitter. No worries, mate. But Holly Shand, Andy and Ross and others mentioned it. Cool, right, that's decent. That's all I needed. Thank you very much for that one, Jamie. Did Aina to Colwell, says Notion Vids. Fair enough. Like, the Forest fixtures coming up are abysmal. And if we move on to the 11ify data, this isn't the 11ify data, it's the betting data, so we'll do this one first. Obviously, this week is a terrible fixture. And then they've got Ipswich away next week, so I think if I was to own any Forest assets, whether that be Chris Wood or Aina, probably bench them this week, play them next week, then game week 14 is going to be the week you want to sell them because, as we'll come on to see with the 11ify data, it absolutely nosedives in terms of those kind of clean sheets and projected goal numbers over the next few weeks. So I think you need to be looking to move away from that as well. In terms of this week, looks like, again, there could be plenty of goals kicking about. A lot of the teams as well. It's a lot of one-sided games, it looks like. Really only the Everton and Brentford game, probably the Bournemouth and Brighton game and Fulham ones you could throw in there that look fairly even-ish. But everything else looks rather one-sided, doesn't it? Chelsea, Villa, City, Manchester United, obviously, Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal, all really, really fancy to do exceptionally well. All got pretty decent clean sheet numbers this game week as well. And all have decent, obviously, projected goals coming up as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of one-sided-ish games with quite a few goals in this week. So we might see an increase in clean sheets, something that obviously has been lacking in recent weeks. But we will have to wait and see on that one as well. I do feel this is a really useful tool. Obviously, if you may be stuck with a couple benching decisions this week, maybe which way do you sway, then this one also might help you out in that regard as well. I'm stuck with Mbeumo or Bruno for the next 5 game weeks. Who's the most points in them? I would probably say I'd think it'd be Bruno. I think it would be Bruno. Maresca said we only have one injury. Reece James. Cool. This is all giving me more and more power to maybe make that move to Colwell then. Johnson to Smeno and Solanke to Isak. And then for the next game week, bring in Hall instead of Young. I like both of those moves. I like all the moves you've actually suggested there, mate. I think that's decent. Isak, I'm worried, don't have him in and can see how to reach him. Yeah, he is one of those players that I think could be quite explosive over the next 5. There's some really, really decent fixtures coming up as well with that. The projected goal numbers are decent, and I think if my memory serves me correctly, he's either 6 or 7 attacking returns in 2 games against West Ham. Like, the guy's an absolute joke. Genuinely a joke against West Ham, so maybe he could be the one that could obviously outweigh Erling Haaland as well. So yeah, it could be a decent one. You brought in Decore yet? Bro, I'm never bringing in that fraud. Never, ever bringing in that fraud. Even Beto's scoring more than him now. And we all know Beto's absolutely dog dirt. Cunha, Mazraoui or Rodgers? Who should I play? Best Rico replacements apart from Aït-Nouri. I don't think I'd be selling off Rico this week. Obviously, the news that Kovacic is out for 3 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks probably means that Rico Lewis is going to be playing in midfield. So I think I would probably stick with Rico Lewis for 1 more week. In terms of playing the people, obviously Cunha is a really, really good player to be going and playing. Rodgers has got a decent fixture against a wobbly Palace side as well. So it's going to be a tough one. And I think if I was to play any of them, I probably would go Cunha over all of everybody else that you've recommended there. Start which 2 out of the 3? Rico Lewis, Mazraoui or Wood? Probably they're going to be the first 2, isn't it? Obviously Mazraoui, I've seen him in some predicted lineups and I've not seen him in others, so it could be a little bit of a gamble and maybe could be a benching. And if you want those secure minutes, I probably would just say Rico Lewis and Wood personally for me. Right, let's move on to that 11-5 data then that I spoke about. Obviously, we spoke about Nottingham Forest, and as you can see here, 16th for projected clean sheets over the next few weeks. Like I said, they really, really take a nosedive from being, obviously, at the position they are right now, one of the best defences in the Premier League, for XG conceded as well. That matchday 13-1, like I said, if you can bench, obviously, people like Aina, or maybe you've got Murillo or Milenkovic this week, maybe worth benching them this week, taking that Ipswich fixture as well with the joint second highest percentage chance of a clean sheet. Then, like I said, in game week 14, obviously looking to switch away from Nottingham Forest assets. In terms of teams that we probably want to be looking to target over the next few weeks, Arsenal, I know, have been extremely disappointing for people that went there, but I think they could be good value for money over the next few weeks with decent projected clean sheet numbers coming up. And they still are, if you look at the XG conceded columns, still one of the top teams in the league as well. I feel they've probably been a little bit unlucky, probably as well have, you know, just there's a few game states, isn't there, where red cards have happened, certain injuries have happened, stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Obviously, Chelsea, like I said, I'm looking at Levi Colwell. I think, for me personally, could be one of the best 4.5s to go and pick up decent projected clean sheets over the next few weeks, as with Newcastle as well. So Lewis Hall as well, another one of my popular picks. Bench Wood for him next game week or start him? Who? Lewis or Mazraoui? Got a dilemma. Got Raul Jimenez, ESR and Anderson versus Aït-Nouri and Cunha. Who do you sooner back? I think Fulham will win that game. I do genuinely think Fulham will win that game. And if I was to go for anyone, I would want Cunha just because he's the heart of creativity. Probably if I was to bench anybody there, Anderson. And I reckon with Aït-Nouri, like, he can just pick up attacking returns for fun. So I would probably say Cunha and Jimenez are my, like, 1 and 2. ESR is probably the 3rd best option. And then Aït-Nouri 4th. Anderson 5th in that order. So if you've got to bench maybe 2, probably going to be the defenders. I think there could be quite a few goals in that game as well. Thoughts on getting Saka or Odegaard next week? I probably would be looking more at Saka rather than Odegaard. Coming back from a long-term injury. Lots of games coming up for Arsenal as well. Remember, there is 2 Champions League rounds and a Carabao Cup round in December as well. So it's going to be a busy month. Would you prefer Gusto, though, if I didn't already have Colwell? No, not really. I think Colwell's just minutes are so secure that it just fills me with confidence. And I think that's what we need to be looking at over this busy festive period. Just nailed players that are going to play 90 minutes. Because there is always, every single year, I remember it like vividly last year, walking into a bar with the like Christmas work due, and someone that I had was benched, and it was not expected at all. So I think going for just steady minutes every single time probably is going to be the best method for some just decent points across this period as well. Thoughts on my team for game week 12? Yeah, looks decent. Looks decent. Benching Ray is an interesting one, but obviously, you know, Sanchez has got a decent fixture this week, so yeah. If we don't consider their prices, is Welbeck or João Pedro the better pick? If already value tied up in Welbeck, so I wouldn't even be switching between the two. And I think João Pedro's minutes again are not going to be secured over this busy festive period. Coming back from a long-term injury, so much competition within that 10 role as well. I don't think it's a give me straight away. I probably would then go for Ait-Nouri for the attacking returns over Anderson. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to play it. I know you're going to probably give me some beef in the chat as well anyway when it all goes tits up. And you know it's like a Anderson scored. I'm ready for it, mate. I'm ready for it. I hope you had a good birthday anyway. Hope you had a good birthday. Visser and Bruno or Mbeumo and Cunha next 3 to 5, or stick with Visser and Mbeumo. Might get priced out if I don't move soon, maybe. I think these are players though that realistically over the next few we're probably going to be starting to shift away from, like Mbeumo, Visser, Bruno. We're probably going to be starting to move away from these just down to the fixtures, and we're probably going to be looking more towards the Arsenal players and stuff like that. So yeah, it's genuinely a difficult one. Do keep the questions coming in, guys. We will obviously answer as many as we can in today's stream. Let's move on to the projected attacking data from 11 to 5 for the next few weeks. Obviously, it's looking pretty good for Manchester City. So those that are maybe considering selling off Erling Haaland this week, maybe want to consider decent projected goals we saw from the betting data and decent projected goals as well this game week from the 11 to 5 model might potentially lead to some people. Obviously, I've seen it on Twitter and Blue Sky as well. Obviously, we've created a Blue Sky account as well, so if you want to go and follow me over on there, it's pretty much the exact same handle. I think it's like FPL Tom. If you type that into Blue Sky, I, of course, will pop up as well. One of the moderators will slap it in the chat as well at some point. But yeah, I think for me personally, I might just be tempted just to keep Haaland. And I think with those 2 Spurs defensive injuries as well, this week it could be a really, really interesting one to obviously keep with Erling Haaland for this game week for me personally. Chelsea have got some decent fixtures coming up, all the way realistically up until around game week 29. So I think Cole Palmer is going to be an absolute must buy for this game week and for future game weeks coming up with decent projected data as well. In terms of some other interesting teams that I've got my eye on, Newcastle in 5th. Obviously, we've kind of been speaking a little bit about Alexander Isak. Decent projected goals this week, decent fixtures as well. The only iffy one, of course, is match day 14, where they do face off against Liverpool. But outside of that, some great fixtures coming up. Some really, really great fixtures coming up. What questions have we got? Hey Tom, start Lewis, Trent, Ait-Nouri and Gabriel. Well, Trent's injured, so that's that one out. We're probably going to be going for Lewis, Gabriel and Ait-Nouri if I had to pick 3 right now. Yep, Rodgers and Semenyo both fit into that category. My only concern with Semenyo would probably be his yellow cards and, of course, the amount of rotation that Iriola's already started to implement within that side. That'd probably be the one. Where do I work? Bro, I ain't telling you that. I lost strip darts, so I have to captain a player with less than 4 letters on his surname. Who should I captain and transfer in? Strip darts? What the... Sorry, we've got people asking what my government name is. We've got people obviously saying, like, you know, oh, where do you work? What's your social security number? Oh. Yeah, absolute NPCs in the chat tonight, honestly. But yeah, we'll find you a player with 4 names. We'll find you a player with 4 letters. Give me a second. Chat, if we've got any recommendations for this guy as well, get them in. I don't know how you lose strip darts, but that's what this guy's done. Obviously, we'll do team ratings tomorrow, so if you do send me a team, I'm probably not going to look at it towards tomorrow. Hey, mate, need your help on a couple dilemmas. Would you take a -4 for Trent to Gabriel or just play Lewis? The other one is -4 Dibbling to Saka or just play Rodgers. I would just play both players. In that case, no need for a -4. Nope. Fantasy Football Hub are very, very good to me. FPL, mate, is probably one of the main reasons I'm sat in this chair. So there you go. Yeah. I use my free subs bringing in Rodgers, Cunha, Ait-Nouri in for Porro, Vardy and McNeil. Very nice. I'm glad you had a good day, mate. I'm glad you had a good day. Right, I'm nailing this down. Bruno or Cunha will only be able to fit one in my team. Might need to ask the coin. Bro, if you want to ask the coin. But I probably would be going more Cunha over Bruno for that one. Anderson or Hall for my wildcard for game week 12. Probably leaning more towards Hall. Wait, is it 4 or is it less than 4 in 4, Isaac? What? Oh, Isaac probably better. 4 letters. Yeah, Isaac. 1, 2. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. If it's 4, then Isaac's probably the best option, isn't he, this game week? I just clocked back on what we were talking about. Yeah, Isaac's probably going to be your best option as well. Strong record as well against Newcastle. Right, let's keep the show rolling. We did that one. What the hell have I done here? I think I might have accidentally put 2 in the same one. Let me have a look. Projected points. That's not what I wanted to look at, but let's look at this. For this game week in particular, obviously this is from Fantasy Football Hub. If you want to go and check them out in the description, they've obviously got price rises, AI team ratings, all that good stuff. Lots of good stuff. But they are predicting that Mohamed Salah is going to be the highest scoring player. Interestingly, second is Erling Haaland. I wonder if that might change tomorrow morning. I'm wondering if the betting markets as well potentially might shift on Erling Haaland as well. So I've seen quite a few people suggest it, maybe going for Erling Haaland as the captain. And that is down to the fact that there is no Romero or no Van de Ven tomorrow for Spurs as well. It's going to be a pretty ropey defence, already a pretty ropey defence in general, to be honest. It's probably going to be Davis and some other NPC at the back. So I think it could be a little bit of a rocky kind of, gamble, to be honest, but let's wait and see. A lot of you in the chat are going for Mohamed Salah, 74%. And I do feel like I'm going to kind of just stick with the consensus, to be honest. I am going to just go with Salah, to be honest. I think having Haaland should probably be, I reckon, around maybe like 80-90% EO. Maybe a little bit higher, but I'm still going to get something out of him if he does obviously pop off within that game. And if I go for, Mohamed Salah as my captain, and I do feel like Salah will deliver against Southampton. Interestingly, they've conceded the most chances from the right wing. I think it's 7 goals against them have come from the right-hand side of obviously opposition's attacks as well. So yeah, I think Salah is the sensible captaincy option, and having Haaland probably is just going to be enough this week. So that's my 2 cents on that one, but let me know which way you would go on that one. Would you sooner play Lewis or Anderson? I would rather play Rico Lewis this week, mate. 4 letters, Mo. I mean, you've got Wood in here, Raul, Son, Isaac. There's quite a few on this list here that you could go for. Saka. There's quite a few 4-letter players, isn't there? Do we know when Trent's back? It wasn't too clear, but it probably might be next week. There's obviously Champions League midweek, so we'll again have another press conference. Again, we'll have another look at what is if Trent's even in the squad and stuff like that. Southampton have defenders out yet. Obviously, no Ramsdale, and I believe no Bednarek as well. So they're not in the best ones as well. Yeah, Chris Wood is definitely going to start to slow down. We looked at that with the projected data, and we saw from 11 to 5, we genuinely saw that it's just not good over the next few weeks. I think they're 19th on the 11 to 5 model. There's some really, really difficult fixtures coming up for Nottingham Forest. Let's just get them up on screen. So these are the ones. So Arsenal this week away, not great. Ipswich is pretty decent at home. And then they've got City away. United, we don't know what this side is going to be like at this point as well. Almiron's going to have, 3 games in charge, a little bit more time with the squad. Maybe he might come out of the blocks firing and could be a really, really difficult test for Forest. Then Villa, not great. Brentford away, go into the G-Tech is just not great for anybody. And the way that they've set up this season is more gun-ho attack style. Then Spurs, Forest are not going to be a team I want to be investing in during this run. So yeah, over the Christmas period, over this kind of lead up to Christmas, probably not going to be a team we're looking to invest in. Afterwards, it's not too bad, minus the Liverpool game in 21. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that as well. So if you're on a wild card as well, would be probably looking to avoid Chris Wood, Aina, people like that as well. Yeah, he's a buy in a couple of weeks, but like I said, probably that lead up to Christmas, not going to be a player we want to have in our sides. Yeah. This is it. I think if you can get away with benching, obviously Aina and Wood this week and keeping them for next week, that's the plan. That's why I'm a little bit reluctant to make any transfers this week. The defenders still rotate extremely well, and if I was actually to take anybody out, probably would be Mikalenko that I would be taking out. And bringing in Levi Colwell. I'm going to do some, obviously, digging on Twitter and stuff like that, making sure Colwell is definitely going to be playing in that one, because I do have Mikalenko against Visser and Mbuemo. Don't feel too confident about that one. The G-Check Stadium. Brighton and Wolves attackers, people should be looking to buy. Yep, Bournemouth, I think you can throw into that list as well. Do I think Saka will start? I don't really know how to read Arteta's mind games anymore. The fact that he's only said a partial training doesn't overly fill me with confidence. But I probably would say it's one of those, isn't it? Where is it a partial training that they've only just been involved in, or have they actually been training, for a long time? Again, I don't trust whatever comes out of Arteta's mouth anymore, and I don't know what sort of mind games he's going to be playing. I think he's probably not going to play, but if I owned him, I probably would keep him. Only reason I did transfers was to say bye to Haaland. Bless him. Bless him. He could be one of those players, though, that does pop off. Like, it's not the easiest fixtures coming up. It really, really isn't. But this Spurs one, probably not going to be a red, is it? It's a home fixture. City is still the top team for XG created so far in the league. Haaland has had big chances. Like, look at what he's been producing here. 1.38, 0.88, 2.33. Like, these ones are a bit honky here, but the past 3 games, like, to come away with only, 2 goals, yeah, probably a little bit unfortunate, to be honest. Like, definitely should have picked up more points here. So, yeah, it is an interesting one. It genuinely is an interesting one. But in terms of fixtures, I would probably say after this Spurs game, there is the scope to go and sell him. Liverpool, best team in the league for XG conceded. Away from home as well, going to be a difficult game. Forest currently sat second for XG conceded. Difficult one. Palace in 15 is a fixture I would like Haaland for. United, we don't really know what they're going to be like. Villa away, not an easy fixture. Everton at home looked a great fixture in 18. But if you look at Salah, Palmer, and of course Saka that week, they've all got absolutely amazing fixtures again, so you're probably not going to be captaining him. It's probably not until this run here, probably from the Everton game and below, that run there, where you really want to own Erling Haaland again. And then it goes really difficult again with Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, Spurs again. But then there's that. Then there's that lovely run, isn't there? So, yeah, it's one of these periods where we could be going without Erling Haaland, and it is genuinely a thing. And that's why I want to potentially roll this week. If Haaland puts in another blank and City maybe don't look up to the same standards, I might consider it. Yeah, he's going to be one. And I would not be tripling up on Wolves. I think a double of Cunha and 8 Nuri is all you really need, to be honest. DCL, bro, not DCL. Let's stay away from DCL. -4 for Solanke to Isak. Is it worth it? If I have to bench Rodgers. If not, I'll keep Solanke for 13. Yeah, I genuinely think I'd just play Rodgers rather than taking the -4. I'd start Lewis. I genuinely would start Lewis. Please assist. I have to bench one of Cunha, Visser, or Smith Rowe. I probably would say Smith Rowe for me personally. Yeah, he's on a quiet spell. He is on a quiet spell, but he's still still ticking along. Like, in terms of it just because he is this season 50 million, that it really does make you think about a little bit more, doesn't it? Does make you think a little bit more. Keep your questions coming in. Obviously, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure you're hitting that like button. There will be a deadline stream tomorrow from 7:45. So, we'll be doing team reviews, all that good stuff, getting your questions in, answering as many as possible as well. I saw somebody in my mini league took a -38. Bro, that's honky. That is honky. Should I do a -4? Trent to Konate? If not, do I play Van der Berg or Lewis? Also, I've already taken a -4. Just play Van der Berg or Lewis. Vandenberg is a sell. Yeah, Brentford's like they've completely swapped the way that they've played like this season. They used to be a team that would focus very much on being a really, really good defense, hard to break down. This season, it's kind of just like a gun-ho approach and just more like we'll score goals, we'll outscore the opposition. I don't know whether or not they've noticed something because they are very much a data-driven side, so maybe they've noticed something. Then that's up to you. Like, I'm just giving my advice, but, you know, each their own, isn't it? Is Matty Cash a buy? I mean, he's probably going to play the next few, but it's a busy festive period. I want solid, consistent players. I don't want anybody that's iffy minutes. Bro, you go for it. Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm telling you to bench Smith Rowe. You might not agree with it. That's up to you. You ask my advice. That's what I'm saying. Cunha and Visser. Visser's an absolute bonus points magnet. That's why I'd go for him. Both of these players' BPS lines, just before they even do anything, are ridiculously high. Let's have a look at their bonus points, because it is such a big factor. Look at these BPS levels, right? 44 and he got a goal. That was it. 29 and he got an assist. He genuinely just got an assist and he got 29 bonus points. 45 here, 44 here, 34 here, and all he did was score a goal. 34 here and didn't even play a full game. Like, this guy is a really, really good chance of picking up bonus just for getting one attack in return. That's why I really like Cunha. Same goes for Visser as well. 60 bonus points here, 38 here, 31, 36. And this is just when he's getting like a goal. Like if he gets a goal and an assist, he's definitely confirmed for free bonus. But yeah, like pretty much he's just picking up a goal and he's probably getting some bonus points, right? That's why I really, really like these players at the moment. Their BPS baselines are ridiculous, genuinely ridiculous. And if they get one attack in return, they're probably coming away with a bonus as well. Should I swap Visser for João Pedro? My wildcard is on. Visser's a player I would want to keep for the next 2 weeks, but João Pedro, I'm unsure of his minutes. I'm genuinely like that on his minutes, and I don't... Yeah, he's going to be a great enabler if his minutes are secure, but they've got so much quality within that 10. Like, the fixtures coming up as well. There's going to be heavy rotation, I'm telling you right now. Do you think Lewis starts in the 6 with Kovacic out? I do. Yeah. And Andy's got the right idea. Cash is an injury risk, but at the moment they don't have any right-back cover. I've read somewhere that Thingy should be back, though, if I'm not mistaken. Like, Konza's not a long-term injury. So he should be back. Should be back. Do keep your questions coming in. Any that you do have ahead of the deadline. Not the deadline. In today's stream. Obviously, the deadline stream is tomorrow as well. But yeah, keep your questions coming in. I think probably this week we are just going to roll. I know my defence looks a little bit shaky, but the attack-wise, like we've got Salah, we've got Palmer, we've got Haaland, we've got pretty much the big hitters for this week that could decimate the rank. Cunha and Visser in here as well could be really, really tasty. The only player I would absolutely love to have this game week is, of course, Alexander Isak, but yeah, I don't think so. Would a same person sell Watkins for Isak this game week on a wildcard? Yes, I think you would. Like, the Villa fixtures aren't bad. Like, they're not terrible coming up. Palace, Chelsea, Brentford, Southampton, Nottingham Forest. It's not a bad run, right? It's genuinely not a bad run. But if we compare that to the Newcastle ones, let me find Isak. Yeah, if we compare these to the Newcastle fixtures that are coming up, West Ham and Palace, both absolutely abysmal defences. The Liverpool game, not great. Brentford down there. Leicester down there. Like, all these teams here, right, are, I would say, 15th and below for XG conceded. It's an absolutely incredible run and a dream run for any attacker. Getting him in at 18% as well. Mega differential. And again, like, look at some of the numbers he's... Like, it's decent. It's decent numbers he's been putting up over the past few weeks as well. 4 in 4, I believe, here. Yeah, since he's come back, 4 in 4. You can't complain at that. Can't complain at that one. You really, really can't. Evan Nielsen or João Pedro? I probably would go Evan Nielsen. Really want Salah. Best way I can see is Foden, Salah, Solanke, João Pedro, and Lewis van der Berg for a -4. Maybe Wood to Strand Larson instead. Yeah, I think the only problem with that is obviously Van der Berg, Brentford aren't great defensively. João Pedro's minutes I wouldn't say are 100% secured either. So yeah, that'd probably be my only doubts on that one. I really don't think Trent is a good long-term hold. I don't think you're getting the value out of him this season, for me personally. Start Rodgers or Welbeck? Probably would play Welbeck. Planning to get Bruno next game week if the rumours Almiron playing him as a deep line playmaker are false. Fair enough. I think the fixtures for United fall off a little bit. If you want João Pedro, you need Semenyo or Rodgers as cover for your first sub to cover João Pedro's 70 minutes, man. And he'll get injured 4 to 5 weeks. That's with João Pedro. Yep, that is pretty much João Pedro down to a T, isn't it? He will get injured. He will pick up some injuries across the way, but it is what it is. Right, guys, I believe that is pretty much going to be everything for tonight. Like I said, we will be live tomorrow for the deadline stream from 7:45, so make sure you're getting yourself there. As well, make sure you are dropping me a follow over on Blue Sky as well for anybody that has obviously switched away from X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it over to Blue Sky as well. I'm pretty much just posting the same exact things, so make sure you're dropping me a follow on there as well. We'll be doing team reviews on Blue Sky as well as X and Twitter tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's pretty much going to call it for today's stream, guys. Like I said, if you did enjoy it, thank you very, very much for being here on a Friday evening. I know, the exciting life, that's what we're living here. But yeah, I'm going to call it. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow at 7:45, so make sure you're getting yourself locked and loaded for that one. See you later. Oh, and also, the coin will be here, so all good things.